Hello students, now we will see the sample programs of nested loops. So the first program is to find the sum of the series. S is equal to 1 plus 1 by 2 factorial minus 1 by 3 factorial plus 1 by 4 factorial, like that it's coming. So the sum of this 1 by the number of factorial we have to find till the n. So we are getting n as that is number of series as the input and initializing it with n. So the first loop will be number of series. So from A we have assigned it to 1, that is from 1 to the number of series n. Till that it has to be added. So the outer loop we have initialized with that from 1 to the number of series the user is giving. Okay, then int f is equal to 1. To find the factorial, we have declared this variable f is equal to 1. For b is equal to 1, b less than or equal to a they have given. The reason is, see here, 1 by 1 factorial is 1. So 1 by 1 factorial plus 1 by 2 factorial. That is for the second series. Second thing, it is going to be 2 factorial, and for the third term it is going to be the 3 factorial, and for the fourth term it is 4 factorial. So it increases like that according to the term. That is the reason they have given a here. So for the first iteration a is equal to 1, it will enter here b is equal to 1 and f is equal to, that is 1 into 1. So 1 by, and s is equal to s plus double 1 by f. So 1 by f is going to be 1 by 1. So the first thing you got it. And for the second iteration, a is equal to 2, and when you enter here into the inner loop, first b is equal to 1. So 1 into 1. So f will be 1, and again it will be going here. Now b will be 2. So when you come here, f is equal to 2. So 1 into 2 is equal to, f value will be 2. So here when it becomes 3, here b is less than or equal to a. Okay, so for the second iteration here, till 2 only you can execute it. Here you need the 2 factorial, right? So till 2 you can execute this statement, and once it becomes 3 it will come out of the loop. You will add this, that is this previous sum plus the 1 by now 2 factorial value will be in this f, and that will be added to the sum. And again for it will go to a will be 3 now, and again it will enter into the inner loop. Now for 1, again it will be calculating, 1 will be there, and again for b is equal to 2, so 1 into 2 will be there, and then b is equal to 3, because now the value of for loop is 3, so a value is 3. That's why till 3 it is coming. So 2 into 3 you will be getting 6, and once this is over it will come out, and s is equal to s plus, again the previous sum will be here in the s, and double 1 by now 3 factorial is what? 6. The value of 6 you will get and will be added with this sum here. So like this it will be keep on executing till the n series. Next we will see the program 2. Write a program to display the prime numbers between 1 and 100. Prime numbers is a number which is divisible by 1 and the number itself. We all know what is a prime number. Okay, so now we will see how to write a program to this, to display the number of prime numbers between the numbers 1 and 100. So in the outer loop, first we are going to take this condition, that is the numbers are going to be between 1 and 100. So for a you have declared it with 1, and till 100 you have to find the prime numbers and display it. So it is going, condition is going to be less than or equal to 100. Now you are going to the second loop. In the second loop, for b is equal to 1 and b is equal to less than or equal to a and b plus plus. See here, why they have given a here is the whatever number you get here, that is from 1 to 100, you are going to check that number is prime number or not. So whatever number you get here, that is a first thing you are going to check whether 1 is a prime number or not. So once it enters here, for b is equal to 1, once it enters here, for b is equal to 1 and less than or equal to a, b is equal to 1 and a value is also 1, it is equal to 1, so it is going to enter into the loop. If a mod b, that is a value is 1 and mod 1 is equal to 0, so c will be c plus 1. So if here already we have declared that c is 0. So if c is equal to 2, then it is going to be a prime number. Okay, if it is going to be a prime number. If it is not equal to c, 2 means surely it is not a prime number, so this statement won't be executed. For 1 you are getting a value of c is 1, so that is not going to be printed and it will come out of the loop and go to the first outer loop. So now you will be getting a value 2. So again it is going to come here, int it is going to see in the inner loop b is equal to 2 and now b should be less than or equal to 2 and b plus plus. Okay, because a value is 2 now. So once it is coming here, if a mod 1 is equal to 0, it is going to check yes, means it is going to add the number. Similarly, it is for the next iteration, it is going to add the number and it is going to check. See, for 3 is a prime number, right? For that we will see here now. For the next iteration 3 is going to come and see what is going to happen. Int c is equal to 0. Again, why they have given here is again and again the c should become 0, then only you will be getting this value as 2. We are going to check the value for 2, right? That's why they have given it here. So again and again c will become 0 and you are again it is going to enter into the for loop. If b is equal to 1, it is going to check. Now the value of a is 3, so 3 mod 1 is equal to 0. And the value 3 mod 1 is obviously it is going to be 0 because every number is divisible by 1. So now the value of c will be 1. So again it is going to check if c is equal to 0. No. Then it is going to not here. First it will be c will be get the number and again it will be going to the iteration b is equal to 2. Now it will come and check here. 3 by 2 is not divisible, so c value will be 1 itself. Again it will be going there. So b is equal to what? B is equal to, now it will be 3. So b is less than or equal to 3. Then what it will do is it will check a mod b, that is 3 mod 3 is obviously 0. 3 is divisible by 3, it will be 0. So c value will become, already c was 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2. So now the c value is become 2. Again the loop will go, b will be 4, b is not less than or equal to 4, it is not less than or equal to 3. 4 is not less than or equal to 3, right? So it will come out of the loop and it will check if c is equal to 2. Yes, we have the value 2 for 3. So it will be printing system.out.println 3 is a prime number. Then again it will go to the outer loop for 4, 5, like that. It will till 100. It will be checking each and every number whether it is a prime number or not. Then next sample program is write a program to input number and print whether the number is a special number. Okay, and what we are going to do is for special number, if this is the input number, first we are going to get the input from the user and we are going to check the factorial of each digit. That is 1 means 1 factorial, 4 means 4 factorial and 5, that is each digit's factorial, add that number, and if that number is equal to the number we got it, that is a special number. Okay, like that we are going to check it. So we know what is factorial. If 5 factorial means 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. Whatever the number is, till that number we have to multiply it from 1. That is your factorial. Now we will see the program how to do it. So we have got the number from the user. Enter a number and we have initialized it with m. Now we have put that number into another variable, m is equal to n. So the number will be in m also. Now we are checking if m is not equal to 0 means we are going to check d. This process you already know, no? D is equal to m mod 10. This is to find the digit. Now we will get the ones digit in this, and I is equal to 1 and I is less than or equal to d. Here we are going to find the factorial. So we are initializing the condition with this d, because in d only you are going to get this first digit, that is 5, whatever the number is. For example, I am saying if this is the number means 5 you are going to get. So to find the factorial of that digit, you have to initialize with that digit only, so that from 1 to that digit factorial you will be getting. So this loop is to find the factorial. So we are going to do it. See how it is coming for here. For with this number I will say, so for the first iteration you will be getting the digit 5 here. That is one's number you will be getting. So now I should be less than or equal to 5. So for I is equal to 1, f into I. F will, you have already initialized to 1. So 1 into 1. So f is going to be 1 and s is equal to s plus f. This f will be added here. See here, this for loop is without the curly braces. So for each iteration only this statement will be executed. If it is not with the curly braces means only one statement can be executed. Okay, only that next statement alone it takes for the execution. The other statements and all will be skipped. Once all the iterations are over, then only it will be going to the next statement. So if I is equal to 1, f will be 1 here. Now for it will go to the next iteration, I is equal to 2. So already in f 1 is there, so 1 into 2, 2 will be there, and for the next iteration I will be 3 and 2 into 3 is equal to 6 will be there in f, and now I is equal to 4. It is less than or equal to 5, so again it is going to 2. 6 into 4 is equal to 24, and so f value will be 24, and again I is equal to 4. Sorry, I is equal to 5. Last it was 4. Now I is equal to 5. It is less than or equal to 5. So again it is going to do. So 24 into 5. See here. 1, 2, in 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. So 24 into 5 will be 120, and that value will be here in the f, and again I is going to be 6. I is not less than or equal to 5. So your loop ends here. So the iteration ends here and it comes out of the loop, and now the value of f is 120. So sum is equal to sum s plus f. The value 120 will be saved in s now, and again f is equal to 1 they are initializing, because again it is going to come for the next digits factorial. So we are saying we have already added this f here and we are initializing f with 1, and m is equal to m by 10 to get the next digit. So m by 10 means now you will be getting 140 you will be getting, right? So when you come here, 14 divided by 10 is, you will be getting the digit 4 here. So for I is equal to 1 and now the digit will be 4. Similar process will be done here and that 4 factorial value will be added along with s. Like this it will be added and once it is over it will come out. If s is equal to n, n is the original number which we got and s is the sum of the factorial of that digits, that number's digits. So if it is equal to the original number, that is input number, means it is a special number. We are going to print the sum of the factorial of digits and we are going to say it is the special number. Then if it is not equal to that number, means we are going to print it the sum of the factorial and we are going to say it is not a special number. Then program 4, we will see in program 4, write a program to display 20 simultaneous prime numbers starting from a given number entered by the user. You are going to print 20 prime numbers but the starting number you doesn't know. You are going to take it as the input from the user. Now we will see how to do that. See here, they are asking the user to enter the first number and they have initialized it in the n variable. Then they are saying they are going to print the numbers, that is 20 prime numbers from n, and they are going to start printing. So they have taken the do while loop and c is equal to 0 they have initialized, that is to find the prime number. The same process there we saw, no, that is the that process only is going to be done here. So for first in do loop we are taking the for loop. A is equal to 1, a less than or equal to n and a plus plus. N is the number we have given, the number taken from the user input number, and we are going to check whether that number is divisible by any of the number to check the prime number. If it is not divisible, means it is a prime number. It should be divisible by only 1 and the number itself. So while doing like this, we are going to check n mod a is equal to 0. That is the number divided by 1 and 2, 3 like that till the number we are going to check. So if it is only divisible by the 1 and the number itself, means c will be 2. The c value will be 2. Otherwise it won't be 2. It will be greater than 2. So once the loop is over, we are going to check whether the c value is true. If it is 2, means it is a prime number and we are going to print that number. And k is equal to k plus 1. We are increasing 8. I'll show for what we are increasing it, because this is going to be in the loop condition. Do is there, no? So we are going to give some condition. Till some condition only this do while loop has to be executed. For that only we have this k is equal to k plus 1 and n is equal to n plus 1. This n is equal to n plus 1 is to increase this input number, because from the number what the user has given as input, from that number we are going to print 20 prime numbers. Here from that we are going to print 20 fine numbers. So we have to increase the input number, then only we can find whether the next number is going to be a prime number or not. Suppose this is a as per the example here, if this is the 8 means, then this will be 9. So again we are going to check whether 9 is a prime number or not. Like that it is going to be keep on checking. That is the reason we have given n is equal to n plus 1. And we are going to print 20 prime numbers. For that only we have given k is equal to k plus 1 in this if loop. If it is entering this if loop, means it is a prime number. Okay, so if it is a prime number, you are going to increase the count here. So if you get k is equal to 20, then this everything will stop executing and come out of the do while loop. So till you get the 20 prime numbers, this do while loop will be keep on executing. That is the reason we have given k is equal to k plus 1 here. So hope you all understand these 4 programs. Next in next session I'll give you the next set of programs.